Hi guys and welcome. These are your handover videos for your Coachman VIP 545. These are essentially a basic run through of how to set up and operate the caravan. Starting off at the front, you've got your black hitch head here, and your black lever. You have to have your black lever pulled up, then wind your jockey wheel down onto the swivel. It will snap back, push up this red button and expose the green ring. That then means it's on. This example is fitted with Alco ATC. For Alco ATC, it is 13-pin electrics on the actual electrics itself. So if your car has 7-pin adaptation, you must bring yourself an adapter just so that you can get yourself hooked on. Then you've got your handbrake just here. We're using our test equipment today, so as you can see, you've got a red propane gas bottle with an in-date gas hose which connects onto this regulator just here. You can hand tighten that to an extent and then just nip it up using a spanner, as you don't want it too tight. Once both sides are firmly connected, open up the gas bottle with a positive or open direction. Then the caravan comes with a leg winder. You have 2 points either side and 2 points at the back, and that is your insert for your legs. Now you must level first using the jockey wheel and then put down all 4 corner steadies. Do not attempt to jack up or level the caravan using the legs. They are simply used for stabilisation. The point itself is a 19mm part, so if you have one of them, you can then attach a power drill and just do it a bit quicker. As I said, today we are using the test equipment. So starting off first, you've got your flue just here. Your flue is used to get clean air in and out of your boiler. You don't have to do anything with this except make sure it's nice, clean and tidy. Then just next to it, we have your insert for your water pump here. Water pump itself, I'll just remove it for a second. Works on a trigger system, so you have to press in the trigger to be able to pull it out. You then have a plastic cap here to go over the top of the acroll to make sure no nastiness gets in, and at the bottom you have your strainer. Now it's crucial that that sits at the bottom of the barrel, as otherwise you may be gasping for air. But to actually press it in, just push it in just like so. Just go around. Then we've got your battery locker just here. This example does have a battery already fitted, but that's where it would sit. Then you have your plug-in for your mains with a little bit of a cutout just here, so that you can actually feed the mains lead through and lock up that locker and make sure no one pulls out your mains lead. Motor mover, we will go over on collection. And then lastly, we've got your toilet functions. So start off first. Got these 2 points here. Now this is where your wastewater will come out of. You'll need some 28.5mm waste pipe to then feed into a waste master and then empty out at the appropriate point on site. Just here we've got your cassette toilet. So for the actual cassette itself, to remove it, press up on the orange handle, pull out just like so. Now what you can do as well, push that out and pull it up. Turns into almost like a bit of a suitcase. Put that down, twist that head to the side, open up the cap just like so. Then what you want to do is tilt, and at the same time as tilting, continually pressing this button here to vent. Then what you can do, this is only a recommendation, open these 2 parts here, feed in some fresh water, a little bit of a shake, and again tilt and vent. Then on your cap here you have measurements in both imperial and metric, and that's for your blue chemical. Blue chemical goes onto there, push it in, twist the head back to the side, push it the cassette just like so, so that the orange handle sits behind those white teeth so that it can't be removed. Then up top you've got your flush tank. Flush tank itself can hold about 12 litres, however I wouldn't recommend putting in any more than 10. You can also add a little bit of what's called pink chemical, which works as a bleach without being corrosive and also makes it smell a bit nicer. Feed that into there and then that's just for the flush. Now you don't want to travel with either of these two full, so just up here you've got a little bung. Open that up and that will drain off the remaining water from inside there. The caravan itself will be fully drained off before you leave with it. Then this is underneath your right hand side bed, so I wouldn't recommend storing anything underneath here. First up, got your boiler just here. You can see just there you have the inlet for your water pump, and then it comes through these blue pipes. And then just here you can see that yellow toggle. That is the drain valve. So the drain valve has to be in the position it is now to allow the water to flow through. Then it has to be in the vertical position to drain it off. We will leave the caravan in the vertical position when it leaves with you. So when you do come to use the caravan, make sure to switch it over. November to March, have that switched up permanently, as you don't want any water inside the pipes, as they may freeze over and burst. You've got your Sergeant alarm box just here, so that is like the brain box for the alarm system, and then the brain box for the actual motor mover is that blue one. You've got your solar panel regulator just on the side here, and then just here you have all your trips and fuses, all your trips in the upright position and all your fuses in the correct position. I'd always recommend as well you carry some extra fuses with you just in case one were to blow. And then if you do need a little bit more info on that, please have a look inside your book pack. Then just here we have your main control panel. So this is for everything bar your heating and hot water. You have your master on and off switch just here. You've got your lights for interior on this button just here, lights on and off. Then you've got your awning light just here, so awning on, go outside, you can see awning light is on just there. It's a bit sunny so it's a bit hard to see. And you've got your pump button just here. Press in pump, pump off, then pump on. I can cycle through. I've got some user settings just here. I've got the internal temperature of the van, which is 16 degrees. I've got the leisure battery voltage. Now, that is not the current leisure battery voltage. That is from what is coming from the mains. When you just have the battery on, that will give you an accurate representation. Keep on going through, leisure battery voltage, and then just the time. Right, but going back to water pump, you press in water pump and make it turn on. If you've not used the caravan in a little bit of time, I'd recommend waiting 2 to 3 minutes. And what you have to do, open up just here, get your tap, and open up the tap and let it run on both hot and cold. What you're looking for is that nice, steady, continuous stream. Make sure that there's no coughs or splutters or anything like that, and let the tap run for about 30 seconds. And you're just looking for that nice solid stream. If there are any coughs or splutters, go outside, check the strainer, make sure it's sit at the bottom of the barrel, make sure you have your switch in the correct position. But just quick summary, master on and off, water pump, interior lights and exterior. Then just here we have your outer control panel. So this is your heating and hot water. Turn it on just there and you come to your first home screen. So this just tells you the internal temperature. There will be a little bit of disparity between them two, but nothing drastic. Press menu here and you come to this screen first. So first up, you have the thermometer inside the house. That is for the internal temperature of the caravan. Whatever you set it to, it will get to. Now it does take around about an hour for that to get to temperature, but it goes up and down to 0.5, maximum of 30, minimum of 5, otherwise it's off. Then you have water heat with the shower icon just there, so you can either have it completely off, just like so, with the bar having nothing inside. Halfway will get the water temperature to about 40 to 50 degrees, or you can have it on full. Now full will prioritise for water heat over the actual internal heating of the caravan for around about 15 minutes, and then drop it back down to that point. When it's on that, the water temperature will get to 60. Then you have energy source, so you can either have 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts of electric. Now do be aware that some sites do not have the capacity for 3 kilowatts. Or you can run strictly gas, by pressing that button, or a mixture gas with 1, 2 or 3 kilowatts. So you've got a few different choices there. Then you've got additional settings by pressing that spanner icon. Not going to go through them because we have set it to what we believe is the appropriate way, but if you'd like to have a look inside your book pack to see essentially what the additional settings do, please do so. Press back to menu, just a quick summary: internal temperature, water temperature, and then your 2 energy sources. Turn it off, press that button just there. Then we have your fridge just here. So to turn the fridge on, press and hold this button. It will flash up and go to its most recent memory, which in this case was mains on full capacity. Pressing that button there and allows you to change the source. So you have 4 different choices for sources. You have A, which stands for auto, which will automatically switch to what the fridge believes is the best source, which right now is mains. Press it again, strictly just mains, so no flicking over. Then I've switched it over to that battery icon. It's flashing up for a hazard, as that is when you're plugged in with 13-pin electric. So only have that on when you are plugged in. Then you have gas, and you can hear the gas gradually begin to tick in. And then once it's finished ticking, that means it's then lit on gas. But just for now, we'll keep it on mains. Then you have the amount of power coming into the fridge. The thicker the bar, the more power, the faster it's going to chill. 5 being your maximum, 1 being your minimum. It does take around 4 hours for the fridge to fully chill. So just stick it on whilst you're driving, and it allows you to actually just chill whilst you're driving. You can see just inside here, you've got a little green LED that shows you that the fridge is on. Press and hold, turns it off, no more LED. Then just here we have your hob, grill and oven. So everything here works on gas minus the electric plate. Electric plate, just spin it to whatever setting and you can see a red light comes on there. Everything else works standard to any sort of gas cooker that you might have at home. It's a case pressing on the dial, twist it to the side, press the igniter. This is what it looks like when they're lit. As you can see, nice blue clean continuous flames. Now when you first plug in your gas and start running your gas through, this is the first thing I would check. Just make sure all your burners are working. Make sure you don't travel with this glass sheet up, but make sure all the burners are cold to the touch until you put it down. Then we've got the grill. As you can see, both sides nice and lit. And then lastly, the oven. Let's see if I can do this with one hand. There you go, all nice and lit. Make sure as well you do not travel with the caravan with your gas on. Turn it off before you leave site. And lastly, we have your toilet function, which you might say is box simple. Toilet itself, you've got your flush button just here, press it on the top and you can hear that motor. That motor is what will push around any water that is inside the flush tank system. And then to remove the waste, press away on that handle, opens up the cassette and shut it back just like so. When the cassette is full, there'll be a red icon come up just underneath there to tell you to go and empty it.